All right, welcome to our podcast. Today I'm here with my co-hosts Carter, John, Sophia, and Marielle. Today our topic of discussion is deepfakes. We're going to learn what deepfakes are and how we can detect deepfakes and how deepfakes are a problem to our society. So what is a deepfake? According to the Alan Turing Institute, data scientists Phil Swatton and Margot LeBlanc's article of June 2024, What are deepfakes and how can we detect them? Deepfakes are AI augmented videos, images, and audios meant to deceive society and mimic real-life person or scenes. Now, how can we detect a deepfake? We can detect a deepfake by spotting their spatial and visual inconsistencies. They can also be pointed out by color contrast. And another big one is like hands. Some hands have like 6 fingers, so you can kind of tell by that. There's also mismatched speech and mouth movements. Now we're going to learn why deepfakes are a problem in our society. They're becoming harder and harder to detect, and it causes a problem with the public trust. This is a concern also for consent and identity, specifically in like sexual content that is based on a real life person or a subject. Another prime example is workplace scamming. I saw something where someone gave over millions of dollars because of a deepfake like call. So our purpose today is we want you guys to be aware of what deepfakes are and how you can detect them, so you don't believe everything you hear or see in an AI augmented perception. So I'll be handing it off to Carter, who's going to dive deeper into the deepfake.
Thank you so much for that informative introduction. That was lovely. How does this work? All right, that's amazing. All right, but before I go off info dumping on everybody, I just want to get to know my co-host a little bit more. Do you guys recognize what this movie's from? What this clip is from? Just a little trivia question. You recognize it? Do you?
No, I don't.
No? Yeah, I didn't think so. That's an AI actress. Yeah. Her name is Tilly Norwood. She was made by a studio called Particle 6. They used a little talent division called Secocia, however you want to pronounce it. She's an AI actress that's already being sold off in Hollywood, and they're already making movies planned around her, or made just for her in general. And that just is just a tip of the iceberg on, if you think your career is not affected by AI, I pinky promise you it is, because usually acting you would think, oh, you need a person for that. No, you don't. Your favorite actress is coding now. But that's just one of the examples. So this just shows how artificial intelligence is advancing beyond deepfakes, as you said, just not scams anymore, of real people to the creation of entirely digital celebrities, companies raising new questions about authenticity, ethics, and the future of entertainment and careers as a whole. But according to researchers at Just 2024, deepfakes have become one of the most discussed AI-driven threats in media because they blur the line between truth, fabrication, and also social humanity as a whole. And it makes it harder for people to tell what's real online, but not just through like emotional wise, but also just general bare minimum morally wise. And the research also found out that while awareness of deepfakes is increasing, many people still struggle to recognize them, showing them how convincing this technology has become. As well, there's a survey that was taken here at Valencia that some students have had to dumb down their essays and their work just because if they use a semicolon, flagged as AI. I was once a victim of that. I had to write an essay like a 5th grader wrote it just because of AI. And I found that a very huge struggle and very frustrating, so I'm not a huge fan. And now I'm going to pass it off to my other amazing co-hosts. Carry on.
So deepfake can also easily spread misinformation. It can affect people and public trust. For example, anyone can create a video about some politics or some president saying some stuff, but it's not really true. But all people must like believe it because it sounds like it's so real. It can be used to like ruin reputations as well. Like you say, a coworker has someone that work in the company and he hates his coworker, they can like take his face and like create some video of him like doing something illegal. So they can like use some scams as well. Like I've seen videos of people like talking about how they were scammed by like people sending them videos of like, oh hi mom, I'm like in this trouble right now and I need to send me money, but it's all like used by AI and it's all like fake by AI. And it can like damage like the public trust because like if people can't tell if it's real or AI, like how can they trust what they're seeing on social media? Also it can be privacy because like how can I trust sending my picture to someone but like they can like easily take my face and put it in like any random video they want and like create anything they want with my own picture. Like they can like invade people's privacy and create like huge issues in the society.
Going off what she said, deepfakes are a big problem. And we're going to talk about something I wish we can all relate to. TikTok, Instagram Reels, it's called YouTube Reels. You basically see AI everywhere, bro. And it's getting worse and worse and worse. I don't know how many times I've scrolled on TikTok and I've seen something, I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then later on I found out it was AI. Like something with like bunnies on a trampoline or like I see Kobe videos. I'm just
Even the pasta be wrong.
exactly.
It's so good.
And it's scary because how, like 4 years ago, the first AI video that we saw was Will Smith eating spaghetti, and it looked so stupid that we're just like, that's never gonna actually advance. But now, 3 to 4 years later, it's just getting better and better and better, and eventually, we won't be able to tell. I don't know how many times I've scrolled, and now I gotta have this mindset being like, is this AI or not? And I gotta always double check, and it's just gonna keep on. It's gonna keep on fooling more and more people throughout the generation. And like what she said, the older people, I'm scared for my parents or my grandpa and all that because like they can't really tell the difference. And what she said is gonna lead to a lot of scamming, a lot of fraud. It's just really bad.
Going back to a point that was mentioned before, I was in my English class the other day, and my professor was saying that yes, English literature is being devalued because the ways that we used to write are no longer being able to be written now because everything just looks AI. If you write a perfect written paragraph in literature, it's just considered not your own thoughts, and I feel like that's really sad now. I'll present a game that I found. It's called The Odd One Out, and some of us in our group played it, and I'm pretty sure we all missed one or two. And it was a model walking down on a runway. I really thought she was real, but then at the end, we noticed that the faces were distorted and everything in the background, but we couldn't tell because of the lights. They were just dimmed down in the back. And I think that's really scary because, and also the TikTok people. I mean, you know how people make a living in content creation and YouTube, TikTok, wherever the platform may be or stream. I feel like your job can be taken. Like, it's literally being taken right now because there's accounts that make their own AI videos and they're getting money. You know, like you don't have to be creative anymore. You just have to have an AI tool. You can make an AI app, and I feel like you don't even have to do anything to have a job or really get money now. You just have to. It's really AI. I mean, it's taking over jobs.
Very true. Or they'll just use an influencer's face or a well-known celebrity to, I don't know, advertise a stool for the toilet, and everybody's like, oh, Shia LaBeouf is trying to sell me this, and then every elder's gonna believe that.
What began as a creative tool has now developed into a powerful tool to deceive, control, and ruin lives. And I will say, there was a project run for over 5 years in MIT Media Labs that they were trying to counter the information and find out what the eye movements were, how you can detect AI, basically. But basically all of this was to inform you guys on how we can stay aware and maintain caution between anyone and everything in the internet, because we can't believe anything, we can't trust anything that we hear and see now. But basically we can't warp our perception of reality with digital deception. And that's all for today. No, thank you guys. Thank you so much for being here in our podcast and here